Hi my friends, welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this lesson is really very important. So 10 secrets how to reach an advanced level, okay? So thanks a lot for your support, for likes, shares and comments. So it's really very important, okay? I like it a lot, okay? And so are you ready? I hope so. So I'm absolutely delighted to see you. Okay, I'm absolutely delighted to see you means that I'm really glad to see you. I'm really glad to see you. I'm so lucky that you found time for our conversation. I really want to have an advanced level in English, and I want to do it as soon as possible. It means very quickly, or I think it's a normal wish. Okay, thank you. You just need to know a special technique how to do it. So there are 10 secrets which really work, okay? Good. You make me feel so interested. So you make me feel so interested. It means that it's very interesting for me, and it's because of you, okay? What's your English level? It's between elementary and intermediate. So not elementary and not intermediate, between these levels. Okay, I see. Would you like to have an advanced level? Okay, would you like to have an advanced level? Well, honestly, it means that I want to be honest, so it's what I think. I don't really know. I just want to speak English well, and I understand other people. It's what I really want to happen in my life. Want to happen, it means that I really want it in my life. I really want it in my life, yeah? So I got your point, or I understood your idea. I understood your point. So get means understand, and point means idea. I understood your idea. Thanks for your perfect explanation. So perfect, very good. So you explained it very well, and you said it very well, and I understand it very well too, very clearly. I really look up to your enthusiasm and zeal. Okay? Look up to means that I really admire it. I really admire it. So that's great. That's great that you have this enthusiasm, that you are so enthusiastic, and zeal, your energy. So your energy, okay? So, but there is an obstacle. There is an obstacle which you might not see. Obstacle means problem or difficulty. Problem or difficulty which you might not see. Okay? So, yeah, so there is a problem, and maybe you don't understand that there is this problem, or that this problem exists. Okay? What are you talking about? Well, I'll be straight. I'll be straight. It means that I'll say it as it is, or I'll say it directly. Okay? So the first secret is that you need to have a clear and a detailed plan what you need to do to achieve it. I mean an advanced level, yeah? So the secret is very simple. So you need to have this aim, okay? So the first secret is that you need to have an aim, right? So I mean to achieve, okay? To achieve an advanced level, so you need to have this aim first of all, and what? And as I said, and a clear and a detailed plan what you need to do to achieve it. So you need to have this aim. So if you don't have this aim, so you won't achieve it. So okay, it's the first secret. It's the first secret to have this aim. It's so important. So please set an aim and work out a clear strategy. So work out or have a clear strategy. It's in the first place. If you don't have it, you are likely to get stuck. So you're likely to, it means that I think that you'll get stuck, yeah? So it can really happen. It can get stuck, it means that you will stop and you won't have, won't means will not, you won't have this level, and it's a sad fact, not very pleasant, unpleasant thing, okay? So you'll get stuck, you'll stop, so it's the most important thing, okay? Well, I see. I have this aim now, and what should I do next? What other things or what other steps should I take? Yeah, we say take steps. So second, focus on vocabulary. Can you answer one simple question? What's the main difference between an upper intermediate student and an advanced student? Really, do you know the difference between, the main difference between these two levels? Do you know it? So it's grammar? Grammar? No, it's vocabulary. So try to have a very rich vocabulary like native speakers have. Not just like native speakers, okay, just like educated native speakers have, okay? Anything else? Sure, we can't deny the fact. We can't deny the fact. So it means that this fact so really exists, and we can't say that it isn't so. Yeah, so it's really true. It's really true that many students are able to read, but they are terrible at speaking and understanding native speakers. Okay, so really. So many students can read, yeah, maybe they know some grammar, but they are terrible at, it means they're very bad at speaking, so they can't speak, so their speaking skills aren't good enough, they're terrible, and they can't understand. It's, you know, it's a real problem, and so they feel very uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable situation, okay? So, the next points are the following. So you need to speak English daily and listen to it a lot. Please speak English every day. Please do it. So you think, okay, I can't do it, so I don't know friends who can speak English. No problem. Find these friends. Where can I find it? So you can think online. So there are so many websites where you can find it. It isn't a problem nowadays. It isn't a problem. Please do it. So find a friend or friends and, you know, practice English with them and listen to it a lot. So listen to English speech a lot, okay? How much should I listen? 1 or 2 hours? Why is it so little? You can do it all day while being occupied with other things. Really, it's little. 1 or 2 hours, it's good, but not good enough for good progress, okay? So you need to get this level fast, just listen more, okay? So when you do other things, you can listen, yeah, to English speech. So next, very important thing, and so read a lot and have a plan. So the second part of the sentence is very important. Read a lot and have a plan. How many pages a week or books a week you need to read? Very important thing. So have a plan. How many pages a week or books a week you need to read? And I'll give you an example from my life. Yeah. So you know, when I really wanted to improve my English, I read 100 pages a day in English. Yeah. And I felt great progress. Yeah. So 100 pages a day in English, yes, and I felt great progress. So be a fast reader, okay? And you can say, oh, it seems incredible, so it means that it's difficult to believe it, I can't believe it. And then you can add, oh, I don't have so much time, and I will answer, it's little time. If you train, train these skills, you need to train these skills. And you know, lots of English words, yeah? We talked about it earlier. So you can read 50 pages a day and very easily. Yeah, very easily. You can read 50 pages an hour very easily. Really, if you read a lot, if you have the skill, and if you know all these words, no problem. No problem. So it's very easy. Okay? And please also train your reading skills. It's so important. Okay? And it's a real challenge for me. I mean, it's really difficult for me. It's a real challenge for me, but I'll try to improve these skills. So I'll try to improve these reading skills. Yeah, I really hope we are on the right way, but let me continue. So what is 6? Start preparing for some international exams. So have you ever thought about it? Really, have you ever thought about it? You just, okay, maybe you think, okay, I need to learn English, so I have some books, textbooks, and so, but just think differently. Really, think differently. Start preparing for some international exams and find them. So know some information about them, and it's a great challenge. So I mean, it's a great challenge. It's really difficult, but it's so useful. So it can help you a lot. And thanks to it, really thanks to it, or because of it, you'll be constantly measuring your level and judging about it objectively. So constantly means all the time. Measuring, it means that you'll see your level. So yeah, so the problem is that actually, if you look at this situation, you can think, oh, maybe my level is high, maybe my level is low, and you don't know it, yeah? But I mean that just do some, some papers, we call it sample papers. So look at this exam, so do some papers about reading, grammar, listening, and see your real level, okay? And judging about it objectively, not subjectively, but objectively. So you really need to understand what your level is, so you can see it, then you learn English very hard, and then you'll get back to it after some time, and you'll see your level again, so you'll see improvement. So if you have it, so it's so important. And do sample papers, or we also call it past papers. Sample papers, past papers. So just an example of this exam. And see your strengths and weaknesses. Weaknesses, I mean that it's minuses. Maybe it's where you have problems, okay? So maybe you have problems in reading, but you don't know about it. Maybe you have problems in writing, but you don't know about it. And work on them. So try to improve them. Okay, very good, really very good. And I can name such popular international exams such as PET, yeah, FCE, CE, IELTS, TOEFL, and others. So when you prepare for an exam, it's another feeling. So you work several times more effectively. Just have a look at them. So do some papers and see your level. Okay, good. So this information is very valuable for me. Okay, if so, I'm so lucky. And I need to look at these exams and see my level. So what a good idea. So you can start with something simple like PET, yeah? So it's very simple. It's lower intermediate level. So FCE is upper intermediate level. Okay, so CE is a really difficult exam. It's for advanced students, but it's also good, yeah? You can improve your skills greatly. So as for IELTS and TOEFL, these exams are for all levels. And I actually started with these two ones, and then there are some other exams for business English like BEC, so business English certificate, and it can really help, yeah, improve your skills and see your level. So look at learning English from another angle, or from another side. So don't think traditionally. Yeah, think traditionally, but you need to know other methods, other concepts, other ideas, which are very effective, which are so effective so that you can't really imagine, okay? And learn English more than one time a day. You should do it at least twice, 2 times, And the best thing is to start thinking in English, really start thinking in English when you do other things. Okay, so maybe you can think in your language, okay, but yeah, translate it from your language into English, and then you'll be able to think only in English without translation. So please train this skill. And two more important tips. So read more magazines and articles. Read more magazines and articles, not only simple sources. It's a problem. So we talked about your vocabulary, but please read more magazines and articles. So they are full of words, phrases, which which we see in modern English. So please, you need to learn modern English, yeah, modern English, not old-fashioned English in the book. So magazines and articles. So this way. And so 10, learn other tips how to learn English on the channel. English professionally. So you need to learn other tips too. And so don't forget to focus on phrasal verbs too. It's a very important thing. So, phrasal verbs, yeah, it's a big problem, but it only seems that it's a big problem. In fact, it's a small problem, and I hope that you know it, yeah? Okay, so thank you very much, my friends. So we can continue this playlist if you support this idea. Thanks a lot. See you. Hi, my friends. Welcome to the channel English Professionally. And this video is very important for your speaking, yeah? It's called How to Think in English Rightly. So really, it's very important to think in English rightly, okay? So it means that many people think in English, but they do it wrongly, and they don't have a good result. Okay, so really, I've come to the conclusion that I need to think in English to improve it, yeah, to make it better, greatly, and in a short period of time. In a short period of time means soon as possible. That sounds great, or it's a good idea. I also believe, or I also think that we need to think in English to make rapid progress in English. Rapid means fast, to make a rapid progress in English, but this phrase is very natural. Rapid progress in English. What worries you? Yeah, the structure is correct. So what worries you? So what's the problem? What worries you? Frankly, or honestly, I try to think in English, but I'm not quite sure. It means that I'm not really sure that I do everything correctly or I do everything rightly. Really, how to think in English rightly? What can you advise or what can you recommend? Well, to answer this question, I need more information to understand how you do it. No problem. I'll give you more details or more information. So to be frank, or to be honest, I don't have much time, and I usually think in English 20 minutes a day. Sometimes it can be more. I try to translate my thoughts from my mother tongue into English. Yeah, from my own language into English. We say translate from one language into another one. So I try to use simple phrases. I feel real progress. So good progress or real progress. Is it what you want to hear from me? Okay, so is it this information? Excellent. Thank you. I got your point. I see it's your great dream to speak English fluently. So it's a great dream, you really want it, yeah, to speak English fluently. And you try to use more advanced and effective methods. More advanced means better and modern methods, and effective methods which really work. But I can tell you one thing directly. Or I'll be straight, I'll tell you one thing directly. What is it? You need to think in English rightly or correctly. I try to think in English, what's wrong? So what's wrong or what's the problem? What you do has nothing to do with highly effective methods of learning English. So what you do, it means it's not about effective. has nothing to do with. It means it's not about, or it isn't about highly effective or very effective methods of learning English. So it isn't effective. It isn't so effective. Okay, so you make progress. Yeah, we say you make progress, and we won't deny it. So we won't say no. Okay, you don't make progress, it's bad. No, we won't say it. But it's 10% of what you can do. So you know, maximum is 100%, and it's 10% of what you can do. Okay. You know, I feel great progress, and that's enough for me. I have a limited amount of free time. It means that I don't have much free time. Obviously, or clearly, I can't learn English all day and think in English all day. Please understand that I have so many cares, duties, and responsibilities. Okay? It means that you have a lot of things which you need to do, really. You can't even imagine it. I have so many things to do. Yeah? A nice phrase. So you can say, I have so many things to do, or so many things which I need to do. So a nice phrase, things to do. Okay? We can say, I have a lot of things to do, or I have so many things to do, or which I need to do, really. So many that you can't imagine. Okay? So don't take it close to your heart. Don't take it close to your heart. It means don't worry, relax, it's okay. I generally understand all these things take place in your life. I generally understand means I really understand, so I truly understand. All these things take place, it means they exist in our life. So they happen, these things exist in our life, it's true. I just want you to pay attention to a couple of facts. Yeah, I just want you to pay attention. Pay attention means that I just want you to look at or pay attention to a couple of facts. Couple of means 2 facts which can help you improve your English greatly and reach new heights. New heights means reach a new level, so a more advanced level. Okay? Okay, I'm listening to you. Please be serious. And don't be skeptical. Don't be skeptical means, okay, don't think it's bad. So first of all, you need to listen to this information, and then you'll decide whether it's bad or good. Okay? So many people look for this information, they try to find it, and they are ready to pay a great deal of money. A great deal of money means lots of money. But they can't find it. I mean, they can't find this information. Okay? Can I continue? Yes, please. There are several big problems. There are some big problems, but the main problem is that you don't think in English. Do you understand what I'm talking about? You just translate. Is it bad? Not bad, but not perfect. So it means but not very good. Okay, not excellent. Your task is to be able to think only in English. So to be able to think, it's, you know, it means that you need to think only in English. You should try to do it only English. So without your mother tongue, okay? Good. How should I think in English? Can you describe it? Okay. Can you describe it? It means actually, how does it happen? How does it happen? Okay, so what you have is the following. So you have this thing, yeah? So for example, you see a car, and first you have this idea in your mind, in your mother tongue, so in your own language, and then you translate, and you do it all the time. So first you say it in your mother tongue, you translate into English, and you do it all the time. Okay, so you do it all the time. So, and as you understand, it isn't so good. It isn't so good. Right. You know, it's a good speaking practice. It's good, not bad, not terrible. Yeah, but it can't be called thinking in English. It can't be called, yes, it's passive voice. It can't be called thinking in English. No. When you see something, you need to have this word only in English at once. It means immediately. So you see a car and you have this idea in English. Okay, so I see a car, this is a car, or something like that. So without translation. It's a very important thing. Really? Certainly, or means of course. Let me add one more thing. It means that I want to add one more thing. When you have some ideas in your head, you need to have them only in English, without translation. This practice can be called thinking in English rightly. But that's not all. Let me finish, okay? I understand. How can I achieve it? So how can I get it? What else do I need to do? As I understand, or as I see, you choose a certain time or during the day and try to think in English. But in fact, it isn't so effective. I mean that you choose just one interval, So split your day or divide your day, a certain time. Just split your day or divide your day into several parts, into some parts or intervals. So what I mean is that it's better to think in English. It's better to think maybe for 5 minutes, but when you do it more regularly, so you know that you say 20 minutes, just one time a day, it isn't enough. It isn't enough. So you need to do it more regularly. Okay. So isn't it too much? Isn't it too much? So when you do it more regularly, I think if you want more progress, it's okay. So don't miss every opportunity to think in English. So in other words, you need to take every opportunity to think in English. Well, I'll try. I see your confusion and what worries you. So confusion, it means that you feel confused. So I'll try, but maybe you still don't understand how you can do it. You still have problems and you feel worried. So what worries you? I'll answer your question. You are worried that you'll be only translating and using your mother tongue too. You can't do it only in English, right? You read my thoughts. It means that you really understand what I think. You read me like an open book. So everything is clear. So I have some ideas in my mind and everything is clear for you. Everything is clear for you. Please continue. Nice phrases. Oh, please continue, okay? I feel that you know my problems better than me, and most importantly, and the most important thing is that you have a clear idea how I can solve it. Okay, so how can I solve it? So what I can do? Okay, your main problem is that you don't do it regularly. You need to do it as often as possible, so regularly. So as regularly as you can, and you need to translate first. So you asked me about translation, and it isn't bad. You need to translate first. It's the first step. When will I be able to think only in English? It's possible if you have lots of daily and hourly translation practice. So you need to have lots of daily practice. It means every day, and hourly. It means every hour, but maybe for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but every hour translation practice. If you can't think in English, it means that you need more regular practice, that you don't have enough practice. So you have practice, but little practice, not enough practice, okay? Only this way. More practice, daily and hourly translation practice. Only this way. And there is one more thing that can't be left unnoticed, that can't be ignored. So I know that people often fail to notice it, but we need to pay attention to this fact, okay? So what is it? Okay, what is it? Most students think in English, but they use very unnatural phrases. Very unnatural. Not really good. And so native speakers don't, speak this way. And clumsy sentences. Clumsy means also unnatural. So they think that it's right. Maybe other people will understand, but it isn't correct. So it isn't, it isn't spoken this way in America or England, okay? So you need to think like a native speaker. It's the next level, the next step, okay? So how can I get this skill? You can acquire this skill or you can get this skill after the first 2 steps. To have it, you need to improve your English in general and have an advanced level in English. Otherwise, you'll be thinking in English while speaking unnaturally and making lots of mistakes in grammar and vocabulary which are not so evident. Really. So students make lots of mistakes, and the problem is that they don't realize that they make these mistakes. So you need to have an advanced level. So try to improve your level in general. So we have lots of video courses, yeah, which can really help you. And the next thing, you need to try to think in English, and you need to have this practice so as often as you can. Okay, so thank you very much, my friends. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Okay, thank you for your support. Thank you. See you.
Hi, my friends. Welcome to the channel English Professionally, and this video course isn't for beginners. So it's called Upper Intermediate and Advanced English Grammar for Speaking. So first of all, it's for advanced students, yeah? I think that's great, and you know that I believe that if you want to have an advanced level in English, you need to know advanced grammar structures. This video contains them, and you can start using them in your speech. It will improve your speaking enormously, or greatly, or significantly. Okay, really, let's have a look at these structures, which you should know if you're really serious about having this level, I mean advanced level. So I think that you know actually a lot about modal verbs, yeah? But actually this subject is a little bit more difficult, so it's modal verbs passive. So what is it? For example, yeah, it can be discussed tomorrow. It can be discussed tomorrow. So how do we form it? So can be plus the third form. Can be plus the third form, or can be plus done. So it can be actually a different form. You see, it can be discussed tomorrow. So it means that someone can discuss it tomorrow. Someone can discuss it tomorrow, okay? One more example. These mistakes should be corrected. These mistakes should be corrected. So it means that someone should correct these mistakes. So should be corrected. Should be plus the third form or plus done. Okay, could be. For example, yeah, I think that, or you think that my speaking can be improved. My speaking can be improved. Can be improved. Yeah, or I can also say could be improved. Yeah, it's okay. So can be improved or could be improved. So it means that really it can become better, for example, with the help of this channel. With the help of this channel. Okay, so you see, let's revise it. So modal verbs passive can be plus done or plus the third form. It can be discussed tomorrow. Should be plus done. These mistakes should be corrected. Could be plus done. My speaking could be improved with the help of this channel. Yeah, what other modal verbs can you remember? So modal verbs passive must be. So these things must be considered. So these things must be considered. It means that someone must consider these things. Okay, so this flat has to be repaired. This flat has to be repaired. So it's the same story that someone has to repair this flat, or It has to be done, for example. It has to be done. So someone has to do it. Or you know that this structure has a similar meaning, so need to be. So it needs to be said. It needs to be said. It needs to be said, or it needs to be mentioned. It needs to be mentioned. Okay, so you see modal verbs passive. Must be. These things must be considered. Have to be. This flat has to be repaired. It has to be done. Need to be. It needs to be said. It needs to be mentioned. And so maybe and might be. Okay, so it might be changed, or it may be changed. It may be changed. It means that maybe someone will change it, or someone may change it. Might be. Okay, so it might be forbidden. It might be forbidden. So you know that you can use may or might. So it might be forbidden means that maybe it will be forbidden, or it might actually, someone might actually forbid it, yeah, for some reason. Maybe. So it may be changed. Might be. So it might be forbidden. Okay, so you know it's very important thing, yeah, really. And I think that actually it has to be mentioned. These things have to be mentioned. Yeah, so these things have to be mentioned. So it's the same situation. So these things means they, and we say have. So these things have to be mentioned or learned. Yeah. Okay, very good, my friends. So modal verbs passive, you know, but there is one more difficult thing, yeah. So modal verbs in the past passive. So it's passive, but I mean when it isn't about the present, when it isn't about the future. So when it's about the past. For example, yeah, let's actually say something like that. It should have been considered. Right. If you remember, yeah, if you remember that if you want to say, you know, these modal verbs in the past, I mean should or could, you use should have, could have, yeah. So if it's passive voice, you use should have been, and then you need the third form. Okay, let's write it this way. Should have been done. So it should have been considered. Okay, so good. So for example, so it could have been avoided. It could have been avoided. It could have been avoided. So could have been done. It could have been avoided. Okay, so their wishes must have been ignored. Their wishes must have been ignored. So you see, must have been done. Must have been done. It means that I really think so, yeah, that actually someone ignored their wishes. But we use these structures. I mean, so we were talking about modal verbs in the past, passive, should have been done, it should have been considered, could have been done, it could have been avoided, must have been done. Their wishes must have been ignored. Next, so Modal verbs in the past with may and might, passive. So it may have been noticed. It may have been noticed. So may have been done. It means that someone may have noticed it, or you know that I think that I mean, you see that you can say it may have been noticed. Maybe it sounds a little bit awkward. Awkward means unusual, strange, or weird, yeah? But in fact, yeah, that's it. So sometimes you can come across, you know, these structures, and so I think that if you're an advanced student or if you're going to have this level, you need to know it. So it may have been noticed, or so maybe someone noticed it, or someone may have noticed it, or might. Okay, so she might have been seen yesterday. Okay, so she might have been seen yesterday. She might have been seen yesterday. So it's the same story. So it means that maybe someone saw her yesterday, or maybe, or actually someone may have seen, yeah, may have seen her yesterday. So might have been done. Okay, very important structures. So may have been done, it may have been noticed, and might have been done. So you see, she might have been seen yesterday. Okay, so the next, so grammar part, yeah, for advanced students is about strong adjectives. For example, just there is one very common mistakes which lots of students make. For example, so if someone doesn't like something, he may say, it's very terrible, it's very terrible, or it's very amazing, it's very amazing. But the thing is that we can't say it this way, we can't say it. You need to know that if we look at English adjectives, yeah, if we look at English adjectives, so they can be so weak or normal, and strong adjectives. And you know that so terrible and amazing are strong adjectives. So the thing is that if it's a weak or normal adjective, for example, good, you know, good, you can put very before it, so you can say very good, so very bad, or for example very tight. But there are strong adjectives, yeah. For example, yeah, terrible, it's a strong adjective, and if so, you need to put absolutely before it. So absolutely plus, for example, absolutely terrible, and so on. So you can say it only this way, so it's terrible. If you want to make it sound stronger, you can say it's absolutely terrible, or it's amazing. You can say it's really amazing, it's really terrible, or it's absolutely amazing, it's absolutely amazing. Okay, for example, yeah, one more example with the word tight. You know that, or I can guess that you have lots of work, yeah, and you can say, I'm tight, yeah. What else can you say? I'm very tight, yeah, it's okay, I'm very tight, or I'm really tight, but you know that tight isn't a strong adjective. So there is a strong adjective, yeah, which actually is stronger than tight. And what word, yeah, am I talking about, or what word is it? So it's exhausted. So you can say I'm exhausted. So if you say I'm exhausted, it means I'm very tight, and it's a strong adjective again. So if you want actually to strengthen your point, yeah, or if you want to emphasize something, or if you want to focus more attention on it, so you can say, so I'm really exhausted. Oh, I'm really exhausted. I'm really exhausted. Yeah, it's okay if you say it. Nevertheless, my friend, nevertheless. So if you want to make it sound really strong, so you need to use this word absolutely. So I'm absolutely exhausted. It means that I'm really so tired. I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. Okay? Yeah, and just you need to know this difference. Okay, if you want actually to speak English not only naturally, spontaneously, confidently, correctly, yeah, so you also need actually to enrich your speech, I mean, with beautiful and natural structures. So absolutely, don't say only so it's good, it's very good. Okay, it's fantastic, it's absolutely fantastic, or it's magnificent, it's absolutely magnificent, it's fascinating, it's absolutely fascinating, or and so on. So you can say, oh, what a brilliant idea, or it's a brilliant idea, or it's an absolutely brilliant idea. Okay, just compare these two things, these two levels. So just actually you hear, yeah, one student and he's saying, oh, it's a good idea, it's a very good idea, and you can also hear the second student and he actually is saying, it's a brilliant idea, it's an absolutely brilliant idea. Just you see the difference between these levels. And if you want actually to sound more advanced, you also need to use strong adjectives and absolutely with them. Okay, let's revise it. So we're going to talk about strong adjectives. So if we look at adjectives in English, they can be weak or normal. For example, very good, very bad, tight, and we put very before them. And so they can be strong. We put absolutely before them. For example, absolutely terrible. Okay, let's look at more examples. It's absolutely terrible. It's absolutely amazing. I'm tight. I'm very tight. I'm really tight. I'm exhausted. I'm really exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. Yeah, and so we can't leave these subjects unnoticed. Yeah, I'm talking about inversion. So just I have a small question for you. Yeah, so is it correct or not if I say, so I do think so. I do think so. Is it correct or not? You know that we use do in questions, yeah, do you think so? And we can use it in negative sentences, yeah? We can use do not, so I do not think so, or I don't think so. But if you look at this sentence, it's another story. So you see do in a statement. So in other words, so it isn't a question, yeah, it isn't a negative sentence. So nevertheless, we put do before a verb, yeah? I do think so. So the thing is that you can do it. So do means really. Do means really. So you put do or does plus verb and it means really. For example, I do want to change my life. I do want to change my life. I do want to change my life, or I really want to change my life. Yeah, I do want to learn English. I do want to know English. Or maybe you want to say, I do want to thank you. For example, yeah, one more example. These lessons do help me. These lessons do help me. It means these lessons really help me. Yeah, so we often use inversion. Look, I do think so, it means I really think so. Do or does plus verb, yeah? So do or does, actually it means really. I do want to change my life. I do want to know English. I do want to thank you. And the lessons do help me. Or I can say, for example, it matters a lot. It matters a lot, or it does matter a lot. It does matter a lot. It does matter a lot. So it means it's really important. It does matter. So we can't close our eyes on it. We can't ignore it. It does matter. Okay, and so more advanced structures with inversion. So not only, but also. So, for example, not only. So if it's without an inversion, so we can hear not only this channel is for beginners, but it's also for intermediate and advanced students. Yeah, but the thing is that the rule is that we put inversion after not only, so we need the order. I mean, so you have a subject and an auxiliary verb, and so we change them. So we need to say the opposite thing. So not only is this channel, so you put it before. So not only is this channel for beginners, but it's also for intermediate and advanced students. For example, not only. So if it's without inversion, so you can hear he is a nice person, but you know the rule is that you need to use inversion here, and so you need to put is before it. Not only is he a nice person, but he is a very professional teacher. But he is a very professional teacher. Not only is he a nice person, but he is a very professional teacher. One more example, maybe more difficult. Not only, so let's say it without inversion first, because it's really difficult. Not only it helps me, but it's also useful. But it's also useful for millions of students. It's more difficult. So you need to put inversion. So we had the verb to be, and it was easy. So we just actually put is before that word. So, and if you look at this example, try to say it by yourself first of all. So not only, so you need to use do or does. So if you have a verb, in present simple, so you need to use do or does. So not only does it help me, but it's also useful for millions of students. But it also helps millions of students. Okay, so not only, but also. Not only is this channel for beginners, but it's also for intermediate and advanced students. Not only is he a nice person, but he's a very professional teacher. Not only does it help me, but it's also useful for millions of students. And two more advanced structures with inversion: no sooner and hardly had. Okay, do you know the structures? I hope so. So no sooner had someone done something than something happened. For example, no sooner, then you have to use had I, then you need to use the third form, come home, then she called me. So it's past simple. It means that, so I came home and then she called me. So it happened almost immediately. Or you can say a similar structure. So hardly had, it's almost the same. So hardly had someone done something. The only difference is that you use when instead of then. So use then with no sooner, but when with hardly, when something happened. So hardly had someone done something when something happened. So you see, for example, hardly had I left home. Hardly had I left home when he arrived. It means that I left home and then he arrived. He did it almost immediately. Yeah. So you see that we use past perfect, yeah, in the first part and past simple in the second part of the sentence. Okay, please remember, no sooner had someone done something than something happened. No sooner had I come home then, yeah, please, thanks for your correction. So then she called me. And please remember that we use then with no sooner. Hardly had someone done something when something happened. So my friend, so we use when with hardly had. So hardly had I left home when he arrived. Okay, to sum up, so this information is extremely important. So it's for upper intermediate and advanced level. So actually it's mostly for advanced students. So, and in fact, really, you need to start using it in your speech. I mean, these structures, so modal verbs, passive, in the present, in the future, and in the past as well. It's also very important. Please keep in mind, I mean, strong adjectives, yeah? Just let's speak English beautifully and naturally. Yeah, and so if you start using an inversion in your speech, definitely it'll be a huge advantage. Actually, I mean that, so if, for example, I know that a certain student, yeah, uses this kind of structure in his or her speech, I think, oh, his English grammar is really so high. Yeah, you just need to start using these advanced structures, and really, it will be good for your speaking, and actually, it will sound really more advanced. Okay, my friends, thank you very much, and I really hope that it was a great job. Thank you.